Yeah, that was definitely it was a very it was a very funny book. Um I don't have a copy of it. I borrowed it from the library and I remember reading it thinking this is the best silliest read I have ever read. Like she was giving story after story of women who had gone through the similar experience of being in a relationship with somebody who was detaching themselves from somebody else. But the principle was so transcendent. Like, you can apply that to almost anything. And I really, really liked that because it resonated with me in a place where I really needed to hear that. And it was the beginning of being able to have conversations with women about relationships as it pertains to knowing when to let things go, because that is like the most important thing to know, is to know when to stay and when to let things go. So welcome back to my channel, you guys. If you are not already a member of this channel, please like and subscribe. I try to keep it PG-13 most of the time, but however, we're going to be talking about some very hard topics this summer because I don't know. I'm on a roll. So I know a lot of people have been saying, you said you were going to talk about that. You said you were going to talk about this and you didn't. And now I'm going to. So you got me. All right. So how to survive your divorcing boyfriend. I noticed that I posted a short, and the in the comment in the thumbnail there was something about divorce, and I saw a lot of people liking this. So I'm going to talk a little bit about divorce because I've been down that road and it was quite, I guess, casual, comfortable, straightforward, if if you could actually imagine of such a situation. I decided to cut my losses and just move the thing along quite quickly. I'm not going to get into any of the details of my personal situation because this is a public platform. And of course, once it involves other people, I'm sorry, y'all, my lips are so dry. It's 100 degrees outside. I'm really trying to keep it together. And of course, respecting the people in the situation is always key. So that's rule number one. If you can at all times, keep it respectful. Please, 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 please do so. Nice. If you can't, the next best thing is to make sure that you distance yourself from the situation. And one of the things that I realized about being on the other end of that, like, you're in a relationship with someone who is probably getting a divorce, this might be a little hard to maintain objectivity. And so one of the things that I had to do, when I picked up this book at the library, it was just a joke, right? Like, so a friend of mine handed me the book and said to me, "Oh, you should read this. This is so funny." And so I picked up the book and I started reading, and I couldn't put it down. It was a quirky, interesting little book. And one of the principals, actually, she kept telling every story of what the women were going through and what they experienced in their relationship. I started to notice a common thread. And this thread was one, oh my God, you can stay in the relationship, i.e., act like nothing is going on, continue to see this person and, just continue business as usual, basically. You can put the relationship on hold, which means we are not broken up. We are not, we're just taking a little break so that I can think about how I feel about how this is going about and make my decisions accordingly. Or you can end the relationship completely. All right, just cut your losses, get out of there. Bye, sayonara, adios, auf Wiedersehen, oder auf ein Nie Wiedersehen. Yes, I speak Deutsch. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? That would be me. So yeah, that was very powerful to me because it gave me the sense that We don't always take accountability for the fact that we have options. We always have options. There is no must, there is no need, there is no have to. There is just the option of doing these three things, right? And so I pondered on it and I thought to myself, why is it that we never take those options? Why is it that we always stress ourselves out and act like these options don't exist? And so I want to talk a little bit about that now because I feel like it's going to resonate with a lot of people. It certainly resonated with me that the idea of options are not as straightforward as we make them to be because options have consequences. And those consequences could be good, bad, or indifferent, but we don't know unless we act. And it is the action that is extremely difficult to work through because it is the unknown. And a lot of the times when we're dealing with the unknown, we're dealing with a sense of fear and insecurity. We're in a space, in a place that we may not be familiar with, and we don't know what the repercussions of our actions are going to be. So that blocks us from being able to act, period. I want to offer up to that acting is paramount, and knowing that you're acting, even the decision to not act, to just say, hey, okay, I'm in this situation, I'm going to stay in this situation, it is what it is, I'm done. Even that decision is still an action, and that needs to be acknowledged, that I'm choosing to stay in this situation, which means X or Y or Z may or may not happen. When you do that, you free up yourself from the guilt of, what did maybe I made the wrong decision. What if I had made the wrong decision? What if I had done this? What if I had done that? Once you know that you're choosing to do this, you're acknowledging that you have a choice. And when you acknowledge that you have a choice, you know that you reaffirm to yourself that I have a choice. I always have a choice. And I can decide to choose this now and maybe change my mind later. And it is in that process, that thinking process, as simple as it may seem, because it gets complicated when it comes to relationships and attachments and feeling like we must. Once you make that thought process a deliberate thought process that you go through, and you're intentional in the way you were putting together this narrative, then you become free and liberated to know that if you need to, you can choose something different in the future. So I want to encourage all of my lovely brothers and sisters out there, my aunts and uncles and my mothers and fathers, to know this is a journey, and it is the journey that is the process that we are supposed to enjoy, not just the outcomes. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope to see you guys again in the next one. If you are not already liked and subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. It will help the algorithm. It will help me. It will help you, so that you know when I drop videos, what's happening, and you'll be the first one to be there. It's a win-win, right? All right. So stay free and stay safe.